Hey, welcome to the Angel Wings Personal Transformation Online Program. This is week number 8, and we are continuing our step-by-step process towards balancing of the 12 areas. So along those lines, there is a disclaimer statement that you can see, which you have seen before, which you have already signed, and materials that you will need each week. The 2 notebooks, the vitamin M envelope, some drawing paper if you have color pens or markers or highlighters would be good, a blank card per week. So please make sure you have those with you each time. All right, so we're going to start with our grounding meditation exercise, and then we'll go from there.
Sometimes the mind can feel like a pack of wild horses. Jumping around from past to present to future, refusing to sit still. And like a pack of wild horses, trying to force the mind to be still just doesn't work. The horses are wild in nature after all. But with practice and time, we can train the mind to be aware of when it's galloping in all directions. And we can guide it back to the present moment with a kind and friendly hand. So let's see if we can practice taming the mind by taking a few mindful deep breaths. Wherever you are now, get comfortable. Eyes can be open or closed, and perhaps relaxing the shoulders. And now, taking a deep breath, breathing in through the nose, and breathing out through the mouth. Noticing what thought or sensation the mind is chasing after. And again, just gently taking another deep breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One last time, breathing in and breathing out. Similar to the wild horses, over time, the mind can become more tame, more calm, and may even start to enjoy more moments of stillness. Remember to just keep practicing.
Okay, so we're going to start. And just a quick review from week number 7. If you remember, and hopefully you did this, that you wrote down the quantum transformation principle number 7, choiceless awareness. This is a big idea, but again, we're just going simple with it right now, straightforward. It's a big idea, but it is very simple also. Just as a quick reminder, if you have that card in front of you, just take a look at that. If you don't, you can just look at the screen. A choiceless awareness is a concept in mindfulness and meditation where one observes thoughts, feelings, and sensations without trying to control, judge, or choose between them. It encourages accepting and being present with the full spectrum of experience, cultivating a state of open, non-judgmental, and undirected attention to one's own ongoing experience. So the homework exercise was to read this before each meal, and to do that for the whole week, and then to even think about that and try to practice that. We will be going through this in much more specialized detail later on, as corollary modules, corollary exercises. But just to get the process started, that week to week, we're presenting a new principle, 52 principles altogether. In our first 13 weeks, we'll have 13 principles. You'll have 13 cards, and then we'll do some interesting stuff with that later on. Right, so this was the question. Did you do your homework? Remember, the homework is to be done between sessions. So the exercises, we kind of start off here, and then you complete them at your own leisure to really do them. If you're not doing them, if you're not catching up with that, please try to go back and finish the other homework assignments so you're caught up. All right, so because we want, for the first cycle of this, the first 13 weeks, we want all the homework assignments done by all of our participants. Okay, now, having said that, if you remember, there's a quick review of our central concept using these 7 points. Point number 6 is what we're going to focus on today. That is, unobstructed and undisturbed energy flow creates a powerful foundation for limitless possibilities. So our central concept, which is another card that you have, which you were asked to read one time daily, maybe before bed or in the morning. These 7 points here are just a way of breaking that central concept down a bit. All right? So our exercises are there to really enhance this understanding. Now, what I'm going to have you do is open workbook number 1, please. And you can see that statement in yellow. I'd like you to put today's date. If you want to put your name, you can. You should already have your name on the workbook. Put today's date and put this as a title in yellow, or what's written in yellow. And if you have a yellow marker or something, if you want to use yellow, fine. You can use any color you want. Unobstructed and undisturbed energy flow creates a powerful foundation for limitless possibilities. Write it down. Nice and easy. Take your time with it. And after you're done, you can just let me know. Just raise your hand. Okay, very good. So I'm going to explain in just a minute here, in about 1 minute, the concept of energy flow. I'm going to read this here. I'm going to talk about just a bit, then we have some exercises to do. Let's be clear about what we're talking about. Concept of energy flow is what? In many philosophies, sciences, like physics, biology, or areas of philosophy, energy flow refers to the continuous movement and exchange of energy. Let's just stay with that for a moment. I want you to be clear about this point. Energy flow, let me actually put the pointer on here so you can see that. Okay, 1 moment here. Energy flow, this part here, energy flow refers to the continuous movement and exchange of energy. So I'd like you to repeat that with me. So let's repeat that part together. Energy flow, speak it out loud. Energy flow refers to the continuous movement and exchange of energy. Okay, now I'm going to repeat that whole sentence from starting with energy flow up to the end. Let's do it together. Energy flow refers to the continuous movement and exchange of energy from one system or object to another. All right. Now, there's a couple of examples here to understand that. It's like how sunlight, which is also energy, is absorbed by plants, which is a system. And you must have studied it in school, photosynthesis. That's how the plants absorb energy, right? So that's one example. Sunlight is absorbed by plant. What is that? Energy flow. Easy to understand. And how electricity moves from an outlet, which we all have in the house, to a laptop, to a computer, to a fan, to whatever. Right? So that's an example of energy flow. Easy to understand. You could be a teenager, a school student, or a 90-year-old man or woman, doesn't matter. Everyone has energy flow in life. Now, personal energy flow, what is that? This is interesting. So what I'd like you to do in your notebook, I want you to just write down this. I want you to write down underneath the yellow statement that I have here, personal energy flow. and make a couple of bullet points. We're going to make a couple of bullet points from this, okay? And don't have to write full sentences, just some reminders. So we are aware, we can understand clearly what is personal energy flow. So just like in the examples above, we can also apply the concept of energy flow to our bodies, our minds. So make the first bullet point, energy flow, and just put a dash, our bodies and minds. That's your dot number one. And if you want to write something else, you can, but just do it that way for now. Okay, easy. Energy flow. So under personal energy flow, make a little bullet point or a dash, and then put our bodies and minds, right? Concept of energy. Now, next point is going to be what? Think about your energy as your ability to think, create, and act. So there you go. Make the next bullet point. Next bullet point, put the word energy, put a dash, and put think, create, act. Think, comma, create, comma, and act. Second, you got 2 bullet points now. So as you're writing that, try to keep attention on this energy. The energy, that's what it is. If this personal energy flows smoothly without any blocks like stress or negative thoughts, and isn't disturbed like by distractions or interruptions, then it forms a strong foundation for you to do your best, right? Okay, so next bullet point. Next bullet point, put in there personal energy, write it down and put a dash, and then put the words without any blocks. Just that much. Don't put anything else right now. And once you've done that, make the next bullet point and write the word blocks. B-L-O-C-K-S with a capital B. Put a dash after that. And put stress, comma, stress or negative thoughts. Stress or negative thoughts, or something else if you want to put stress or negative thoughts. Right? Okay, make the next bullet point. And again, put the word energy flow, put the words energy flow, dash. And I want you to write down these 2 words, distractions, comma, interruptions. Distractions or interruptions. Okay, and then once you've done that, put an underline around all of those bullets. I mean, just put an underline around the last one. And then what I want you to write down is the word foundation. This is our core foundation. Very good. Now, what does all this mean? This means that you can potentially do anything you set your mind to. Our program is personal transformation. We're setting our mind to transform into higher levels of living our life in the fantastic way that we can. It means you can potentially do anything you set your mind to, study better, create amazing art, excel in sports, much, much more, whatever you want to do. That's the power of having an unobstructed and undisturbed energy flow. What I'd like you to do now is make, not a bullet point, make a nice medium-sized star, okay, like a asterisk or star. And I want you to write in there the word power. It's the power to have an unobstructed and undisturbed energy. Just write the word power only. That's it. You know, write that word power in like large letters, bold letters, there's capital letters. And that's what this is about. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now, I want you to take a moment to see what you wrote down today so far. Read the sentence on top. Unobstructed and undisturbed energy flow creates a potential foundation for limitless possibilities. Okay, now go back to the word power and put a colon after the word power. And I want you to select one possibility in your life. Even if you think you really can't do it, something that you'd like to do that you just think that is very hard, but it's possible. It's not impossible. Find something. It could be something small, something big, doesn't matter. And write after that word power. Could be a small thing, something that you'd even like to do, that you know that you can do. Maybe organize your house better, or maybe accomplish a bigger goal, like, building a fantastic business, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Just write something down that uses energy, that uses your personal energy. Okay, very good. Now, having done that, I want you to keep something in mind. This is a homework exercise also. What I'd like you to do in the homework exercise, I want you to go through, and I'd like you to go through what you wrote down, all those bullet points, and in the homework exercise, I want you to write 2 paragraphs about what you think that means. You can use computers if you want to help you. You can use online tools. You can use whatever you want. But I want you to write it in handwriting. Maybe you can use computers if you want, but try to write 2 paragraphs about what is personal energy flow for you. So that's your homework assignment. Homework assignment is, where is my personal energy flow? Or what is my personal energy flow? Or what does personal energy flow mean to me? Write one of those questions there. And don't write the answer right now. That'll be for you to do during the week. Very simple. Now we have another exercise to do. Okay. Take your time, make sure that you've got everything written what you want, then we're going to go to our next exercise here. So the next exercise is mapping your personal energy. So just flip the page from where you were, maybe keep another blank page, or blank side of one page to write the 2 paragraphs, and then write this title on there. This is an exercise. So mapping, you can say mapping your energy, your personal energy, or you can say my. You can use the word my. Mapping my personal energy flow. That's better. It's about you. Okay, it's a visualization exercise. Just put the title as mapping my personal energy flow. What do you need? You already have paper with you. You can always use a drawing paper, a bigger paper. You can use colored pens, markers, etc., and highlighters and things like that. So we're going to go through this now, step by step, to make a fantastic picture, like we usually do, to really see this visually. All right, so draw the river. Start by drawing a winding river across the length of the paper, starting at the top, the river's source, and flowing to the bottom, the river's mouth. This river symbolizes your personal energy flow. This is the first step. So draw the river. Start by drawing a winding river across the length of the paper. Not the width of the paper, but the length of the paper. Starting at the top, the river's source, and flowing to the bottom, the river's mouth. Okay, very good. You need a whole page to do this. And you can make a fantastic drawing out of this if you want, with some external tools. All right, having done that, second step. If you've done that, let's go to the second step. So we're going to add the obstructions. Before you do anything, let's be clear about what we're going to do. Think about things that block your energy and make it harder for you to do your best. This is only about you now. Right? Such as stress, lack of sleep, negative thoughts. For each of these, draw a rock or a log in your river. The size of the obstacle can represent how big an impact it has on your energy flow. So think of the blocks to your energy. For example, if Sachin here is trying to exercise more, but I feel lazy, or I feel like I don't feel like doing it now, do it later, that's laziness. Or I feel I'm procrastinating. So that's a block to my energy flow. So think about the things that block your energy, or make it harder for you to do your best. First of all, what is my best? So again, this is a homework exercise also. We're just getting it started. You don't have to write everything in there right now. You can just start out by putting a couple of things that may come to your mind right now. Okay? So if there is too much stress, that's something very common. You can put that there. Some other kind of conflict is going on. Who knows? It's up to you. Your attention is on block of energy. We've been talking about energy for the last 7 weeks in different ways. Now we're talking about the blocks. where is my energy blocked? And one easy way to answer that question is where is my best? How can I be my best? And where am I getting deficient in that? Things that are making it hard for me to do my best, whatever that might be. It could be all kinds of things. It's a homework exercise. You can really make a nice poster out of it, or like take a big drawing paper, and you can even get a drawing book, as a separate third book in addition to these workbooks, to make these fantastic drawings. And that would make things really awesome for you. Make some nice, colorful drawings. Right? It's easy to do. It's nothing really all that hard. But it does take some time. So these are obstructions. Right? So what you're drawing there are obstructions in that river. And you can actually put the word obstruction there just as a reminder as to what you're drawing. Maybe make an arrow or something if you want. Take your time with it. And again, this is going to be a homework exercise for you also. So you're going to have, there's always 4 parts to the homework exercise. This is the second part. Okay, if you're ready to move on, let me know. If you're ready, yeah? Okay. Then add disturbances. Identify distractions or interruptions in your life, like noise, social media, or interruptions from family or friends. For each of these, draw waves or ripples in your river, indicating disturbances in your energy flow. So you can make a little arrow to, write the word disturbance so you know what you're drawing there. So those little waves, these are the ripples, waves or ripples in the river. These are the disturbances. These are the noise. These are the interruptions that are interrupting your flow of energy. Again, this is a homework exercise, but we're getting it started here. You can really think about this. This is not something just to be done in just 2 minutes. Kind of sit back with this question, review the video again if you want. I'll send you all the slides, so you'll have all that with you, easy to use, and you can easily identify these disturbances. Everyone's got them in their life, right? Find out what they are and put them down, draw them out. You can just get started with a couple of things now. You don't need to make it too elaborate right now. Okay, the next step is mark areas of smooth flow. Identify periods where you feel most productive, creative, or energetic, and mark these areas on your river with clear, smooth water. These are your periods of unobstructed, undisturbed energy flow. You can draw that somehow. Maybe you can draw some water somehow, or maybe make some circles, or I don't know how you want to do that exactly, but it's just clear, smooth water. Maybe just make straight lines if you want, not wavy lines. You can do it that way, perhaps. There's lots of ways. There's lots of online tools to make these drawings also, but it's good to draw them by hand. So identify periods where you feel most productive, energetic, and creative. And you can label what they are. You can make it your own. This is your own. You can make this the way you want to make it. So it's the artist in you. You're going to draw it out. So it's to raise awareness. So sometimes we're just stuck in our head, but it's good to draw it out. So if you were to ask me, oh, okay, can you tell me about periods where you feel most productive? I can tell you about it. But if you were to ask me to draw it out, then that's better for me. I can actually see it physically, and it's a good exercise for me. Right? So what are we drawing here? These are periods of being very productive, being very creative and energetic. You can write those 3 words down. You can write those words down: productive, creative, energetic. You can actually make like 3 bubbles or 3 ponds or something like that, where you feel that energy is flowing nicely. Not ponds, but like some kind of a circle or some kind of a straight line that shows smooth flow of energy. And you can write the word productive, creative, and then energetic. And this is your clear, smooth water. These are periods of unobstructed, undisturbed energy flow. Okay, so now after you've done that, this is some time to reflect. We'll just take a moment to do that today, and then you'll do it on your own, and we'll revisit all these drawings at another time in a different way also. So spend some time reflecting on your drawing. What are the biggest rocks or the most ripples? That's a big question, right? Those might be areas to focus on clearing up to improve your energy flow. Consider strategies to reduce these blocks and disturbances and improve your energy flow, which we will talk about next time. Right? So you've got at least a basic picture for now. That's a good exercise. And if you're ready to move on, we will go to our so actually there's another homework exercise, but we'll probably do this one. What I would like you to do is not do this right now because you'll have too much otherwise. We'll do the quick stretch movement and we'll go from there. Just a moment here. I'm going to have to go back here to current slide. Okay, there we go.
I'm so glad you're joining us for a quick movement break. You should aim to integrate movement into your workday at least every 30 minutes of uninterrupted sitting time. Doing so can reduce your risk of weight gain, high blood pressure, and obesity. Let's get started. Begin by standing. Root both feet into the ground. Take a great big inhale and reach both hands high above your head. On your exhale, goalpost the arms and lift the chest, finding a baby back bend. Back bends can quickly boost your energy levels and help to refocus your mind when dealing with stress. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lift the chest and goalpost the arms. Place your hands down by your side. Now bring your right knee up to your chest. Try to balance here as long as you can. Feel the stretch in the back of your leg and lower back. Now slowly bring your foot back behind you and pull it towards your glutes, stretching through the front of your hips. You may want to hold on to something in order to help keep your balance. Let's switch to the other side. Bring your left knee up to your chest. Try to balance here as long as you can. Feel the stretch in the back of your leg and lower back. Now slowly bring your foot back behind you, pull it towards your glutes, stretching through the front of your hips. Bring both feet back together. Next, bend your arms by your side and begin to twist right and left, opening up into your sides and spine. You can leave your arms bent or straighten them out depending on the space you have available. Twisting the spine back and forth can help relieve any tension in the lower back from sitting. Lastly, place your feet about hips distance. Then place your hands onto your hips. Take an inhale and lift the chest up, and exhale, slowly beginning to lower the chest down. As you begin to fold forward, bend the knees to begin lengthening through the hamstrings until your chest touches the tops of your thighs. You can dangle your arms down towards the floor or grab onto your elbows. Stay here to continue lengthening through the spine, or you can sway side to side. Bring the hands back to your hips, and on your next inhale, slowly begin to rise up. Head comes up last. Great work on integrating this quick physical activity break into your busy day. Setting a reminder on your phone or computer can help you remember to fit in regular breaks. Breaks don't have to take up too much of your time and can be effective with just a few short minutes. Low-intensity activities such as standing can be just as beneficial as walking. We encourage you to take a stand against sitting.
Okay, so please just relax back into your seat there, and please open the second workbook, 12 dimensions. Just a quick reminder of what they are. You can see them on the screen. You should be pretty well familiar with this. Please remember that the 12 dimensions are all interconnected, interlinked together. Energy is used in them. That's what our diagram shows here on the screen. And with that, you should be rating yourself on a week-to-week basis between a scale of 0 to 10. There's an Excel spreadsheet that has been given to you. So you just put the numbers in based on where you think you are. It's a self-rating. And, it's just keep it simple. Don't make it really complicated. Don't overanalyze it too much. Where you are on each of those from, on that particular day where you were as far as the week is concerned. And then just to write down how to increase from your point of view that number. And we'll be giving, a special seminars on this in more detail later on. Right now, we're just starting this process and we're in week 8 now. So you should have a better understanding of the 12 dimensions and how they are interconnected. Remember, 0 is the worst possible number, meaning worst possible situation. 10 is the highest. And we have been continuing this way. Our goal is to get to 70%, which is 70% or more, which is a total score of 84. And the Excel spreadsheet will automatically total that for you. All right, so having said that, today what I'd like you to do is to, in your workbook number 2, I want you to please put the date in there and put this title, Dimension number 4, My Mental Health. What is mental life? We're just going to start this a bit today. And, we will go through this for the next 2 weeks. So we'll cover the 12 dimensions in 13 weeks. That's the idea. We'll get just an overview of what they are, and then get some tracking on that, see where we are in 13 weeks, and kind of take it from there, right? So please write that as a title in your second workbook. Remember, the second workbook is only for the 12 dimensions and all activity related to that. All right, so dimension number 4, yes, it's mental health. I think that's, unless I made a mistake, let me just double check something here. Yeah, that's the mental health, yes. That is right. So mental health. So what is mental life? This is the question, right? So I'm going to speak a little bit here. I want you to just listen to this for a moment, and then there's an exercise to be done with this. All right. So just a moment here. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. So first of all, when we consider our mind, easy to understand the conscious and the unconscious. Everybody's heard these terms, right? Mental life includes both our conscious experiences, things we are actively aware of, like thoughts and feelings, and our unconscious experiences, which can influence our behaviors without us realizing it. That's what's meant by conscious and unconscious. It's good to understand this. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to write this first bullet point, what's underlined there, the conscious and the unconscious. Write that down, please. Okay. And looking at the sentence here, looking at the definition, mental life includes both conscious experiences and unconscious ones, right? So I want you to write from your own life. So how would you do so? So you make a sentence that says, an example of my conscious experience, or my conscious experience is driving a car. Make it really simple, something simple. And then you could also write, my unconscious experience could be my getting angry at someone but I didn't realize I was even upset. I don't know, something like that. Something that you feel is an unconscious experience. But how would you detect that if you don't realize it, right? That's the question. But you might realize it later on. I mean, but because so they influence it. So for example, like you're watching a TV show and you've got all these advertising that comes on there, and it influences you to go and buy something that will be considered as an unconscious experience. So again, something for you to do, even as a homework exercise, is to just be aware right now what is conscious, unconscious, what's meant by the language only. That's all. We just want to make sure that the language is clear. And there's 2 more words to write down. That's perception and interpretation. So you got 4 words total. Perception and interpretation. It involves what? Our perceptions of the world around us, which are the raw data that our senses pick up. And how do we interpret them? And the interpretation is interpretation of these perceptions. How our brain makes sense of it. How do we make sense of it? Right? We're not going too deep into this right now. We're just opening the language up to just 4 things only: conscious and unconscious, perception and interpretation. And as a homework exercise, I'd like you to write something about this, about yourself, or in general. You can write a paragraph, you can write a paper, you can do whatever you want with this, but I want you to make this into a homework assignment so you understand clearly for yourself what you think that this means. Conscious, what is my conscious life? What am I unconscious of? And there's also the subconscious, and there's lots of other things like that, but don't worry about that right now. Right? And then the perception and interpretation. Perception means what? Things that we see, hear, touch, taste, etc. But how do we interpret that? Because remember, our goal is to come to a state of 10 in mental life, ideally, where we're just, brimming with excellent energy. Our mind is as open as it can be. It's as healthy as it can be, like that, right? That's our goal. All right, so that's the exercise which I want you to do for homework. And there's a couple of other points which I want to share with you, and maybe we can incorporate. Maybe you can incorporate this into your exercise also. Don't write any of this down. I'm just going to mention it right now. And then we'll go into it further. Do we have memories? Yes. Of course we do. And do we learn in life? Of course we do. Our mental life includes our ability to learn from our experiences, our memories. Okay, just keep that. Don't need to write this down right now. Do we have emotions and motivation? Yes. Of course we have emotions. Are we motivated at times? Of course we are. This is all part of our mental life. When somebody asks Sachin, somebody asks Chetna, somebody asks whoever, Debbie, etc., tell me about what is mental life. These are some of the words that are easy to understand and use. Emotion and motivation. It encompasses our emotional experiences, our feelings, and our motivations, which drive our actions and behaviors. Usually people don't take action unless they're motivated to do it. Right? So just try to understand this right now. Don't do it. Don't write anything down right now about this. So this is good. This includes everything from basic drives like hunger and thirst to complex motivations like ambition and altruism. You may be very altruistic, very charitable. And then the last point for today on mental life is cognitive ability. Cognitive means what? Thinking. If you don't know that word, don't worry about it. It just means your thinking power. So mental life includes cognitive abilities like problem solving, decision making, creativity, imagination. Do we have all of those? Sure we do. Everybody, kids got them, teenagers got them, everybody has them, right? Okay, so these higher ordered cognitive function, what does that mean? Don't get confused by the language. It just means that it's like a higher brain function. Our brain has more power to do that, that's why we have a bigger brain compared to animals. So these higher ordered cognitive functions, what do they allow us to do? They allow us to plan for the future, to think in a more abstract way at times, to imagine new possibilities. This is all part of mental life. All right, very good. So that's that. Now, remember, as part of your homework exercise, every week you are going to write numbers 1 through 12 dimensions. And you're going to, and if you don't want to put it in your notebook, you already have the Excel spreadsheet, but you're going to write down where you are week to week to week to week. Okay, now this is our next part, but before we get to that, I just want to make sure that point is clear. Let me go back to this grid again. Okay, so this is how this goes, right? The tracking sheet, the Excel tracking sheet, you got 12 areas. You're going to write down a number for each of those, although we haven't covered all of them yet. We're just at number 4, but it's okay. Whatever you've understood, you've got the definitions for them from the previous slides. From your perspective, where you think you are. So like the mental life, for example, if I feel that my mental life is just fantastic and it's exactly where it should be, then that would be like a 10 ideally. But if I feel, no, I get depressed sometimes, I feel anxious sometimes, I feel this, I feel imbalanced sometimes, I might give myself a 6 or a 5, or like, I got a lot of work to do still. So it's your judgment. We are going to provide extensive supplementary material regarding this, but I don't want to overburden people with too much material at one time. We just want you to start thinking about this right now and to start putting some numbers in here from where you think you are. All right, for all 12 of these, you should have a number each time, and you should ideally do it on the same day of the week. So that way it goes week to week to week to week. So for example, when we do this is our trial run right now, but when we start the PTP program on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to start it in January of 2024. When we do that, you should complete this, either on the day before the workshop or the day after the workshop. So you're to select the same day, so you can do it in terms of the week. Where were you in that past week, right? This is the idea. There's two ways of doing it. You can say that this is where I am now starting out, and then I'm going for 1 week ahead, and then put the number in the next week. So there's one of two ways of doing that. All right, so that's the tracking part. Now, today, our QTP principle is responsibility. All right, so what I'd like you to do is write down on the card, on the 3x5 card. Okay, write this word down, responsibility, and write down this definition of responsibility. Responsibility in terms of self-development is the understanding and acceptance that you have control over your actions and decisions and their resulting consequences. It is about taking charge of your life, making mindful decisions that align with your goals, and owning up to the outcomes, whether they're positive or negative. That's the second sentence. It's only got 3 sentences, but they're kind of a little long, but that's all right. Eventually, it'll all come inside of us. This level of responsibility promotes personal growth as it encourages learning from experiences, building resilience, and continuously striving for improvement. It's a jam-packed definition, but that's the way these go. And that's why we read them 3 times every day. So take your time and write that down on the 3x5 card. So this should be your 8th 3x5 card. You should have 8 of these at this point. It's a very, very powerful quality. One of our angel wing principles is total personal responsibility. This is one of our goals. We always emphasize this. Right? So this is a quantum principle. It means that once we are really responsible, our life begins to improve rapidly. Rapidly, it begins to improve when we are accepting the fact that we have control over our actions. We're responsible for our actions. Okay. So let me know when you're done with that, and then we'll move on from here. Okay, very good. All right, so make sure you keep that card with you. Your homework assignment for that is 3 times a day. Now, go back to workbook number 1, and we have a little sentence completion exercise also to do today. And you can also do this as a homework assignment, but you can just do it right now if you want, So what I'd like you to do is write the word responsibility. Just open a new page, put today's date on there, put QTP principle number 8, and put responsibility, quantum transformation principle number 8, quantum transformation principle number 8, and put in there responsibility. And we got 5 sentence completion exercises. So this is a way of easy way of trying to gain some more insight into this. So you're going to write these 5 sentences down right now. Okay, so the first one is responsibility in self-development implies that you blank over your own actions and decisions. You can make this sentence the way you want. Responsibility in self-development implies that you have control, have purview, whatever you want to put in there. It's up to you. Now, you can always change the sentence if you want. You can say responsibility in my self-development implies that so you can change that sentence. You don't have to use that exact sentence, but that's just a starting sentence. You can change it and make a new sentence out of that. No problem. But it has to be about responsibility. And the word responsibility should be in the sentence, must be in the sentence. Please feel free to change it the way you want. Make it your own. You are responsible for changing it the way you want. So I'll write all 5 of those down. Taking responsibility means taking charge of your life and making blank decisions that match your goals. You can change the word you to me. Taking responsibility means changing my life, taking charge of my life and making good decisions, powerful decisions, energy conservation decisions. I don't know, you can put lots of good terms in there. Making the right energy flow decisions, as we're talking about, whatever you want to put. But it should be something that comes from within you that's applicable to you. This is a personal transformation program. This is not just a generic thing that, it might be good if some people did that. That's fine. Make it applicable to you and only you. Third point there is whether outcomes are positive or negative, responsibility involves blank, up to them. I think we know what the common answer for that would be, right? It involves living up to them. Do we do that? Do we blame others? Who are we blaming? All kinds of things we do, right? Let's back up a little bit and say, hold on. If Sachin is responsible, I have to be responsible for what I'm doing, what I have done, I'm going to do. Whatever the outcomes may be, rather than blaming others, let's be more aware of responsibility. This is a quantum principle, angel wing quantum principle. Very important quality in life. The 4th point there says, this kind of responsibility can lead to personal growth as it encourages blank from experiences. What does it encourage? In this kind of taking personal responsibility encourages personal growth as it encourages learning from experiences. You can put the word, you can put lots of things in there. I mean, and if you can't think of anything, you can always go online and put that sentence in, and you can find lots of ways of getting good answers for that to help you. Okay, so the 5th point there is by accepting responsibility, you can build resilience and continue striving for excellence, continue striving for more wealth, continue striving for more health, whatever it is, for better health, for better planning, whatever you feel is applicable to you. For example, people who suffer from addictions, they need to go through a process of healing. They have to go through a recovery process. If they don't do that, then they're going to wind up in trouble for years and years and years. So accepting responsibility, by accepting responsibility, one gets resilient. If you don't know what that word means, you can look it up. I'll tell you right now, it just means bouncing back. If you don't know what any of these words mean, that's a good thing. That means that's an opportunity to learn. In Angel Wing, we believe in each person growing and learning dynamically. If you don't understand something, ask us. You can also look things up, and we are continuously trying to grow, all of us together. Wonderful. And this is a homework exercise for you. You can do this at your own leisure, just to kind of start thinking about this responsibility concept. And then the application of that, also you want to try to do this week. As you're reading this 3 times before a meal, you just read the sentence and you try to be more responsible this week with small things like getting up at the right time, eating the right amount of food, doing the things that are needed to take those numbers in the 12 dimensions a bit further up, right? Let's not be complacent about that. So let's try to push it up a little bit. Okay, you already have this card, the central concept card, and you've been reading this once daily, hopefully. If you haven't been doing so, put a reminder or put this card or put a laminated block of this. There's lots of ways of doing it. We'll have these available, when we do our retreat and all. But this is a sentence. This is the central concept. which I won't read the whole thing right now, but this is something to be read one time daily. Eventually, you have it memorized. Before you know it, in our whole program, the entire path towards self-mastery and personal excellence, that entire path that goes from balance to sustained balance, etc., all the way up, it's all in here. So this is our bigger goal here. The goal and the means are shown there. Now it's time to do the vitamin M exercise. So put some cash or a check in your envelope as a way to understand the vitamin M concept. Money is a vitamin. Money is energy. You work for it, and because we work for it, it has to be respected, and it should not be wasted, but it has to be used in the best way. And we're going to do a special module on this later on. Right now, we're just getting this started to understand that vitamin M, this is the energizing feature of all transactions in life. So, and you'll notice how much money you have in there right now. You notice that this is conservation. You haven't used any of it, hopefully. And if you haven't used any of it, you're just saving it there. And that is important, to learn the art of saving and conserving energy. There's a much bigger idea that we'll be presenting about this later on. Okay, and that's it. And we're going to do now the Never Give Up Fearless song here, and then we'll close up. Okay, thank you for attending week number 8 from the online personal transformation workshop, and we will see you next time.